Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. Rockstar has issued a formal apology for Grand Theft Auto The Trilogy, the Definitive Edition. The apology is, well, it's something, but it's not very good. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, if you're new to this entire situation, to sum everything up at a relatively high level here in a couple of sentences, basically Rockstar remastered 3 of their previous Grand Theft Auto games. They bundled them together. They re-released it as Grand Theft Auto The Trilogy, the Definitive Edition. The Definitive Edition is, well, it's a hot mess. These games are filled with glitches, bugs, and issues. People aren't really enjoying them, and I would say it's pretty arguable that you can tell it's a cash grab and something that Rockstar just wanted to pump out for a couple extra bucks. Well, today Rockstar issued a formal apology of sorts about the entire situation. If you want to read that apology, I'm going to link it in the description below and feel free to check it out. What we're going to do here is go over it section by section, and I'll say what I have issues with and what I agree with. The first paragraph says we want to provide an update regarding the unexpected technical issues. I'm going to highlight that for just a second here. That came to light as part of the launch of Grand Theft Auto The Trilogy, the Definitive Edition. Unexpected technical issues. Really? Were these issues actually unexpected? I'm pretty sure if these games were quality tested at all, the testing team would have found a lot of these bugs. Maybe unexpected from executives or marketers who maybe thought they weren't big deals and that's why they wanted to push these games out. I'm not quite sure here, but I'm pretty sure that the QA team probably understood exactly what was going on. So I already don't believe this first paragraph of the apology, but we'll move on. The second paragraph says, firstly, we want to sincerely apologize to everyone who has encountered issues playing these games. You know what? I don't have a problem with this paragraph. Thank you for acknowledging that there are problems here, and also thank you for saying sorry. This one at least gets a thumbs up from me. Moving on to the third paragraph here, the Grand Theft Auto series and the games that make up this iconic trilogy are as special to us as we know they are to fans around the world. I'd argue that they're special to you because they make you a lot of money, but we'll move on from that point. The updated versions of these classic games did not launch in a state that meets our own standards of quality. That is a really important sentence here, or the standards our fans have come to expect. So if these games did not launch in a state that meets your own standards of quality, why did you launch them? And then how can you argue that these were unexpected technical issues? If the games already didn't meet your standards of quality, then they should be expected technical issues here. This sentence now doesn't make any sense at all, or either that or your previous paragraph here doesn't make any sense. Like, don't get me wrong here, games do launch with bugs, there are some issues, some testing is missed, and some bugs are just deemed not really important. But the fact that you're mentioning here, it launched in a state that didn't meet your own standards of quality. Why did you launch it? Was this an executive decision just wanting to pump the game out for a few extra bucks? Or did the QA team sign off on this saying, hey, you know what? These are not big deals. Go ahead, the game's absolutely fine. I'd argue this is more of an executive problem than an actual development and testing problem. The problems I have here continue on with this next paragraph. We have ongoing plans to address the technical issues and to improve each game going forward. With each planned update, the games will reach the level of quality that they deserve to be. So if you take a look at this on the surface, you know what? They're patching these games, they're improving things, they're making them better. Great, big thumbs up. But if you read into it, there's going to be multiple patches here, multiple fixes. With each planned update, this is going to take a while. That means these games were released very broken and they knew about it. Well, they already admitted they knew about it considering they didn't meet their standards. So I really don't understand why these were even put out in the first place. But let's move on to the next paragraph. A new title update is on the way in the coming days for all versions of Grand Theft Auto The Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, that will address a number of issues. We will update everyone as soon as it is live. Obviously you will, you're going to say, hey, we fixed these issues, come buy our game again. This just emphasizes the point that these games are incredibly broken. The issues I have continue on here. In the meantime, it pains us to mention that we are hearing reports of members of the development teams being harassed on social media. We would kindly ask our community to please maintain a respectful and civil discourse around this release as we work through these issues. I agree with Rockstar here. You don't want to be harassing the developers. In my opinion, it might not even be the coders and testers' faults on this one. The saying is, what crap rolls downhill? This might have been an executive decision to rush out these games. The developers might have put their hands up and saying, hey, you know what? Things aren't done. The testers might be putting their hands up and saying, hey, you know what? We've got some issues. And then the executives say, hey, we don't care. We want the games out. Let's make some money here. We'll fix them as time goes on. And that's probably what exactly happened. So this might not even be the developer's fault, yet they're being blamed. And it's not really cool to harass and threaten people on stuff like this. Just in general, it's not cool at all. Now, surprisingly, these next two paragraphs I don't have any issue with, so I'll just summarize them at a high level here. Basically, if you purchase the Trilogy, you will receive the classic versions of the games absolutely free. And if you purchase the Trilogy in the future until June 30th, 2022, you will also receive the classic versions of the games for free, and that does get a big thumbs up. But to play devil's advocate here, I'd argue that the classic versions of the game should have already been included in the Trilogy. That way you give people two different versions of the game to play, and you're already kind of paying for these versions of the game anyway, so no harm, no foul. I'm just saying they should have already been included for free. It shouldn't have come down to this. We'll move on to this last paragraph here. Once again, we'd like to thank everyone for their patience and understanding while we work through these updates to ensure these games meet everyone's justifiably high standards. How about just make the games meet your own dang standards in the first place? I mean, you already admitted here, these games did not meet your own standards of quality. We're not even talking about high standards here, just bare minimum standards in general, and these games didn't meet them. It's not that we have high standards here, it's just the bar was put pretty low and well, you kicked right under it. At the end of the day here, just like Cyberpunk 2077, this is another stupid example of games being pushed out well before they're even close to being done, and there was really no rush to. I mean, these Grand Theft Auto games have been out forever. What would have been a couple extra months here? It would have made your company look a whole lot better if this turned out better than it did. Realistically here, this was an unnecessary rush, an unnecessary push out, and maybe to meet some sort of financial target or something like that. I don't know here. Behind closed doors here, it seems like this was some sort of executive decision that ended up backfiring big time. I really wish these companies would let the development teams actually finish things before pushing them out the door. And if they're delayed a little bit, let them be delayed. The risk-reward trade-off here, as proven, doesn't really seem to be worth it. But anyways, that is all I've got for this video. Let me know your thoughts about GTA the Trilogy in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts about the apology in the comments below. And let me know your thoughts about the entire situation in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Thank you everyone, take care.